Confidentiality.
Yeah, Bridget, absolutely. Confidentiality of the patient. What to do with confidentiality. Sorry about that. I kind of overcame with the recording. Okay, so confidentiality of the patient. So the text, what is it discussing? It's talking about patient confidentiality. Now, what type of text is this? Where would you find this text?
It is a policy.
Absolutely. You're really getting this. That's great. Who will read this text?
Healthcare workers.
Mm-hmm. And who is it discussing?
The patient.
I know it's a bit of a boring thing to do, but really what we want to be doing is getting used to this while we're reading. So I'm reading and I'm asking myself the question, confidentiality is okay. So the doctors are reading this. So it looks a bit like a policy document. Mm-hmm. Okay, they're talking about confidentiality. So you're pretty much doing this as a thought process. So that's the main idea of this. Okay, we're not doing it at the end, thinking, all right, what, why, who. We get to the point that we are able to ask, what's it talking about? What type of text is it? Who is the text discussing? Who is reading the text? And coming down to why. Why is this text being written? So why has this text been written, everybody?
It is a reminder and an emphasis to the medical practitioners.
Mm-hmm. Reminder and an emphasis. Okay. Let me think about it. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. It's a bit like the law, isn't it? It's a bit like the final say. This is the rules, It's not asking them to be aware of it, or this is the rules. And yeah, the policies. Absolutely. Policy was the key word. So let's have a look at our question now. So what we do first when we're looking at our questions is we do have a look at our question. Very, very, very important to understand what the question is asking. So doctors are advised to break confidentiality if. That word, advised, that's so important. They're advised to, So there's a little bit of common sense as well we can use with this. We can have our own idea about it as well. So everybody try and answer it for me in the chat. And, if you want to have a go. Okay, so we got 2 for A, 1 for B. Rebecca, A. Okay. All right. So this is a very good. I'm glad that I'm glad we have different opinions, because there is something that we have to learn about this and why it's not the one it is. So let's start off with this question here. A failure to do so would put other people in danger. Now, there is a mention of that somewhere. Where does it mention that, Robert? A failure to break confidentiality would put other people in danger.
However, faced with a situation in which a patient's refusal to consent to disclosure leaves others exposed to a risk so serious that it outweighs the patient's and the public interest in maintaining confidentiality.
Absolutely. If I came into the hospital with TB and I said, please don't tell anybody, of course they're going to let the other members of staff know because it puts them at risk too. So failure to do so, and remember, advised, that's a very important word. Okay, so if they inform the patient of their intention in advance, Priscilla, where did you find this? It does mention this one. I'm looking at my my film up here, Mary.
It is on the last.
Yeah.
On the last paragraph.
Okay. The patient should be informed in advance that the doctor will be disclosing the information, provided this is practical and safe, even if the doctor intends to disclose without the patient's consent. So there is an emphasis on the fact that the patient needs to be informed in advance. So I'd like to ask you all, without answering the question, why are doctors advised to break confidentiality? Are they advised to break confidentiality if they say to their patient before they break the confidentiality? You can break confidentiality as long as you tell the person that you're going to break their confidentiality, or you can break their confidentiality if it outweighs the people that you work with and the people in the hospital's interests. So the question is a failure to do so would put other people in danger. That's really just because of the question about breaking it. So be careful with this one because there are both informations in there. We saw that. But do you see how I approach that? I'm not fixating on the text. I'm taking a step back and I'm thinking about it. I'm kind of analyzing it a little bit, not too much like part B. I'm trying to think about, in my workplace environment, if I was in the hospital, how would this be? That's the best way to kind of see this part. Okie dokie. Now this is a tricky one, but good practice. I'm going to give you a few minutes, 2 to 3 minutes to read it, and then we'll crack on with if anybody wants to take over, kind of, tell me what they see there. All right, just 2 or 3 minutes, okay? Sorry about that. I paused the screen share. What is this text talking about?
It's talking about transfer of patients.
Transfer of patients, absolutely. And where would you find this text? What type of text is it?
It can be
It's
on
a
hotspots
guideline.
or
Guidelines. Where would you find this? It's like a handbook, right? Now think about why am I reading 1.15 and 1.16? You know, why am I reading both of them? That's important, you know. Why am I not only reading 1.15? Then it would be centered to 1.15. But I'm reading two of them now. So something that actually are apparent in both of them. Who is this text talking about?
Ward nurses.
And who will read it?
The same nurses.
All right. Now we're on to the question of the moment. So why has this been written?
For safe transfer of patients from critical care points to the wards.
One more time.
Safe transfer of patients
Safe.
from critical care points to the wards.
Where does the word safe come from? Is it something you felt? You felt that about the text, that it was about keeping them in their safe place, right?
Yeah, because if you see what the main point the text is trying to communicate, like it is talking about the transfer of patients, but the patients cannot just be transferred anyhow. In that process of transferring them, their safety has to be maintained, and there should be continuity of care.
Nice. I liked it. I really liked it. I liked how you I really liked how you
Thinking.
Yeah, I am thinking because I'm trying to connect it. Okie dokie. So let's have a look at our question. According to the guidance notes, all staff involved in transferring patients from critical to general care must, what's the key word? Must. They have to do this. And when you're ready, write your answer to me, okay?
Mine is B. I'm unable to type now.
Okay, that's good. Thanks for letting me know. Very, I like how even if people are not getting the correct answer, that we're in the right place for this right kind of lessons, because there is something to learn about these both, about the text B. So let's start off making ongoing arrangements, making arrangements for ongoing cooperation once the transfer is complete. Rebecca, why did you think this one? Like, I can see it there, and could you explain to me a little bit?
Yes, I could see. Because there is need for ongoing cooperation just in case the patient gets critical again. And it is also seen here in the text. The receiving ward with support from critical care if required. That's what I could see.
One thing that we could say is, you know, when patients are transferred from the general ward from a critical care area, sorry, they should be offered information about their condition, encouraged to actively participate in decisions that relate to their recovery. Now, maybe somebody saw that about making arrangements for cooperation. Must. They must, is that the reason of the text? Encouraged to actively participate. Must make arrangements for ongoing. Should be offered information. So that's where most of my students get caught, is on text with C, is they get caught with this part. But what is the reason of this document? Why are they sending this? Why are you getting this? It is B. Make sure that the patient's personal care plan is also transferred. Now that's the bigger meaning. That's the difference between this. It's not part A. You know, it's not about finding them words and connecting it. It can be, which I will show you, but the task is different. So this is what we need to do. We need to be learning a little bit now, not part A, part B, and part C is like over here. You know, part A, reading every little detail. Part B, reading it and thinking about it. Part C, like almost philosophizing about it. So well done for who got part B. So I'm going to let you do 2 more. And then tomorrow, what we're going to do is we're going to have a mock test. I'm going to try and make it as realistic as possible. I don't know how I'm going to simulate the test environment, but we'll definitely have a go. Good feelings about this. Well done. Well done for getting, you know, at least 1 out of 3. This is a good start. But some good scores here. So everybody, I'm just going to let you do this without me. I'm just going to be in the background and write your answers when you're done. I'm keeping my eye on the time a little bit, so just be aware of it. I don't worry about that right now, but I just want to see how long it takes you. Just be aware that I am timing it, but I don't expect you to rush or anything. All that matters is we get a good answer in a good time. Okay.